Okay, so I'm working out of this book, Amigurumi Knits, and I thought the earthworm would be a fun and easy place to start. And I'm keeping track on a piece of paper because I'm doing wraps for one of the first times. I don't know what's happening there. And so I am doing a couple rows a day. And so what I'll do now is, this is 125, and when I complete row 6, I'll write that down. And it lets me know how much I should have on each side. Okay, so for knitting this toy, I'm using Lion Brand Wool Ease yarn. And I am on, what size needles am I using? I'm using the called for size. I don't know if you can see that. Size 5, 3.75 needles. I have this marking the wrong side of the fabric. And then I'm using these latch hook slip markers, so that way I can take it off and then move them over. This just helps me because I'm really like an advanced beginner, but I lose track of what I'm doing a lot because of my kids. I have an extremely long tail that I haven't cut yet. So I thought it would just be fun to kind of record me knitting a little bit. I've already started this row. These off. So if I have already done, so I need to knit 1, purl 1 29 times. Knit 1, wrap, and turn. I'm usually sitting back in my chair when I'm doing this, but I thought it would be easier on my shoulders too if I start knitting and recording some. Get me kind of back into the groove a little bit. But yeah, you might be wondering why an earthworm? Well, why not? No, but I thought it would be one of the easiest places to start in the book. I was looking on Amazon. So, okay, here's the backstory of this book. Is I got this book from a local consignment shop. I bring toys there, I bring kids' clothes there, our clothes there all the time, and basically you get 50% of the value they sell for back. And what you can do is you can either, you know, choose to spend it at the store, or you can cash, you can take the cash and go. But they have such good deals, it's, you know, and good quality stuff because people want to get a good value back, you know, if they're just looking for the money back. So anyway, we'll take like our fall stuff there, and then we'll go and shop our spring and summer clothes there the next year. And when we first moved here, I hit a gold mine, and there were a couple different books, knitting books that I bought. So I bought this Amigurumi book for $1, which is incredible. I think it's retailing for like $22 on Amazon. I think it's older, from like 2009. And when I was looking up the reviews, you know, I guess you could have looked up the reviews before, but the main con of this book is that there is very minimal detail or explanation as to what the directions is asking for. And I totally agree, because it's like, does it want me to slip knit or slip purl? I don't know. And not being an advanced knitter, I don't know. Like, I need it to hold my hand a little bit more through the pattern. And which is a nice reminder, because sometimes, like when I'm crocheting, I don't think about that. Or if I write my pattern, you know, like I try to think of that, but it's also, so it's a good reminder and a good perspective as I am writing more patterns and stuff for crochet, you know, how I'm feeling as a beginner knitter and how it makes me feel to not know what some of these things mean, and that they just assume that I do. you know, it makes me not want to knit some of these more advanced patterns in the book, which are really cool, and I want to do that. But, you know. Okay, I'm getting to the point where I need to double check. So I'm going to count by sets. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay, that's what I'm supposed to do. So now I'm supposed to have a knit one. Now it's supposed to wrap and turn. So I've just wrapped now, and so it's basically causing the shaping. It's causing the, oh, I just broke it. Shoot. Okay, well, I'm gonna put a reminder because I'm not gonna, shoot, that stinks. So row 5, so I've done row 6, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do I have another stitch marker here? Shoot, I need that stitch marker. Hold on. Okay, found one. Should be able to get this off, so I'm gonna put this here. Yeah, so I haven't knit in about a year. And when I picked this up and cast it on, I was expecting to kind of have to reteach myself, and it's incredible what muscle memory does. You know, my hands just knew exactly what to do. Knew exactly how to hold the yarn and everything, and how I like to tension it, which is like this. You know, I don't know. So I thought that was pretty cool. And when I said I was gonna kind of try knitting again, I started Googling how to rip back my knitting, because if I'm gonna do this, I know I'm gonna make mistakes. And my number one thing that I didn't like about knitting was I didn't know how to correct my mistakes without ripping everything out. And you know, lifelines are not that difficult. Basically, a lifeline is something that you'll put in your row of knitting. And so if you have to rip back, you can rip back to that point. And it's just kind of like literally a lifeline, so you don't have to rip everything out. And you can put one in afterwards, but it's not nearly as easy. Like, what is her name? Very Pink Knits. She says, you know, it's much easier to be proactive than to have to be reactive and then figure out how to put those things. What just happened? That's fine. Anyway, I hope you can see what I'm doing. Maybe that would be better. I was just knitting while looking through my phone. That was a trip. Yeah, this is pretty crazy how big this earthworm is supposed to be. It's kind of nuts, but I mean, earthworms can be really long. Okay, so why did I pick an earthworm? 1, it was easy. And 2, we were digging out our pond and like channeling water to a different area to try to help some flooding we were having. And we kept, sorry about that noise. We kept finding these huge worms. And I was just like, okay, well, that's decided. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. I always want the leg in front. Okay, so let's double check. Let's double check. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Josie, please hold on a minute. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Ooh, and I've split my... Okay, here we go. So now we're gonna purl 1, and now we're going to oh gosh, I'm sorry. Bring that to the front. And now that's supposed to be wrapped, evidently. So yeah. So now let's see if I can move this without breaking it. Boom. Hey everybody, my name is Bree. I'm from BreeOnALens.com. Thank you for coming to my channel. Please subscribe, please hit that like and notification bell, and let's get started in today's project. Today what we are going to be discussing is this knitted earthworm from a book called Amigurumi Knits. This is one of the easiest patterns in the book, and this is my first amigurumi project with knitting. I have crocheted a couple different things with amigurumi, like crochet amigurumi, and I really enjoyed it. But it is true, knitting amigurumi is very different from crochet amigurumi, besides just the fact that it's crochet and knitting. I found it to be very enjoyable. I think that it was a great project to use and learn new skills versus just knitting and purling. And what I thought it would be fun is to do a review on this pattern. So let's talk about the book for a minute. This is a pattern from Amigurumi Knits, the author being Hansi Singh, and there are a ton of really fun projects in here. As you can see on the cover, there is a snail, there is an eggplant, you know, there's something a little bit easier and then really, really difficult. You can still find this on Amazon, and the reviews will tell you that this is a great book. However, the instructions require you to just kind of know more things than what the author tells you to do in your instructions. So with that being said, I would recommend this to a knitter who has a little bit more experience than just being a beginner. So there are, like I said, a lot of really fun projects in this book. Like the spider is awesome. And there's a jackalope and a Nessie and a kraken. There is a jellyfish. There is, the other project that I think I could do would be the sea star. And of course there is food in here that I think I could do, being an advanced beginner, maybe intermediate at this point, maybe. So what I want to be able to do is knit some bears and some bunnies and things like that. And since I had this book on hand and we had just done a project outside where we were pulling worms out left and right for our pond, I thought, oh, why not knit the earthworm? And as you can see, I think that my project came out pretty good. I used Wool Ease yarn, which is 80% acrylic, 20% wool, which is a worsted weight yarn, and I used the called for needles. I'm really happy with it. I think that it came across really, really well. things that this require, oh, I just lost my spot. I have a post at my website, briannalens.com, where I go over everything in detail, you know, not giving anything away or compromising the pattern from the author. If you want to know any specifics for the pattern, you have to go and buy your book. But I think that this being graded as a beginner intermediate level project is correct. Things that I had to know to do this or learn to do this was a wrap and turn short rows. The short rows is what gives you know, the look of the worm, which is what makes it so cute. I had to learn how to graft Kitchener stitch, which I had done sometimes on the end of a sock, but I had to do it for 71 stitches, so I can really say that I'm confident in my Kitchener stitch now. And I also had to pick up stitches from the cast on edge, which I had never done before. Also, when it says wrap and turn, it doesn't specify like if you're going to knit or if you're going to purl the wrap and turn or whatever. You just kind of have to figure it out and hope for the best, and fortunately I did. So like I said, I go into more details on those things in my post, which again you can find linked down below in the description box at briannalens.com. I think that this was a great project for a beginner. I think that it was quick to do. If you made a mistake, you could rip it back and start over, and you didn't have a ton of time invested in it. I think part of the appeal of it is that it is kind of odd to knit an earthworm, and my kids love it. We like worms, we like fishing and all that stuff, so this is something that my kids will play with a lot. I like that this isn't attached, the cuff isn't attached, you can move it, it's 3D, it's, you know, my kids love that. They're like, it's like clothes for your knitted project. A lot of learning on this small project that could take you into more knitting amigurumi. My next project is a snake, which has even more new stitches for me, and I felt that this really gave me the confidence that I could achieve a literally 10 times bigger project than this knitted earthworm. So I think that it was a good pattern. I think that it was clear. I think that with the help of YouTube, you can achieve this if you have never knit anything like this before. And I really enjoyed it. I would highly recommend it. And I think that if you have the patience to knit this, then you can probably have the patience to continue on with your knitting and knit the more advanced patterns in the book. And so I liked it. You know, it's part of the fun of it is if you're learning new stitches or learning new techniques, it is such a random thing, and it's just very satisfying, and I think that the end result is wonderful. So yeah, a knitted earthworm, knitted amigurumi, pretty fun. I can't wait to do more in the future. So thank you everybody for stopping by and listening to my review of this pattern for an earthworm in the Amigurumi Knits book. And I hope to see you guys in the next project. If you haven't already, please subscribe, please like this video, and like I said, we'll see you in the next project. Oh, where'd it go?